everyone, welcome to this podcast series on keeping up standards. I'm Inés, Ollero, your host for today. And today we're going to talk about how to monitor ads, the challenges that come with it, and a very cool tool that we've developed called AdLibra. I'm here with Adrian and Tjomme. Guys, do you want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah. Well, I'm Adrian Blanco. I'm from A Coruña, Spain. And I'm the tech lead from DEUS that works on this project. My main work here was translate the ideas of Tjomme and Inés into a developer language, let's say, and create like the architecture that is around the application.
Thank you. And Tjomme?
Tjomme Dooper. I work at Stichting Reclame Code in the Netherlands, so the Self-Regulatory Organization for advertising there, a member of EASA. And there I'm the head of product for Influencer Monitor. And for this project, I was the product owner, so also sort of a translator, but from the SRO world into something that Adri could then take up with his team and actually build.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to ask you a question, just a bit of an icebreaker. What's the ad that lives rent-free in your mind? An ad that sticks to your brain every time you think advertising, you think about that. It can be a good or a bad one, crazy one.
Not every time I think of advertising, but every time I open up the cupboard and I see a jar of Nutella. There was like an old school Nutella ad when I was a kid, and it was super cheesy. It was like somebody was making a sandwich, and they took different condiments, so like peanut butter, and the sandwich ran away because he didn't like peanut butter, and cheese, and the sandwich didn't like it, and the sandwich went out and hid from the cheese. But then came the pot of Nutella. And the sandwich ran to it and loved it. And the tagline was, if your sandwich could choose, it would choose Nutella.
Which is a good one.
Completely ridiculous, because if my sandwich could choose, I wouldn't really care about what it thinks. But still, every time I see the pot, I'm like, if my sandwich could choose, well, and then
But you would also choose the chocolate, right? So
it works.
It works.
Yeah. Especially, I was young, so it just goes to show children are impressible and need stricter rules.
Yeah, good point. Especially coming from an SRO.
Yeah, but that one still, every time, I can't help it. I see the jar of Nutella, I'm like, hey.
The sandwich.
Yeah.
Cool. Adri?
Well, mine probably is not, let's say, so polite for the actual days, because it was from the late 90s. And it's from River Scene, that it's a non-alcoholic beer. And there is like a Brazilian player coming back from Spain, and they say like, I tasted a non-alcoholic beer that tastes like real beer. And then all the journalists call him liar, but with a really strong Brazilian accent.
Okay.
and it was like a jingle that I heard in my whole childhood, because my father took that as a joke and repeated for thousands of times during probably 10, 15 years.
Okay.
So I have that embedded already on my mind because of that.
It's crazy, because both of the ads you said, probably nowadays we would have some issues or little problems with them, right?
Yeah, probably, yes.
Maybe the depiction of the Brazilian accent, I don't know. I would need to see the ad, but also certainly the appeal to children, maybe, of the Nutella one. Yeah. Or maybe not. I don't know. It will be up to the SROs to
nutritional criteria, etc.
Yeah, it will be up to the SROs to define it, but it's interesting because it takes up to the challenge we're living now about the ads that we're exposed to, how to monitor them, how to review them. I don't know if you have any thoughts. I can already think about how complicated it is to review so many ads that we have nowadays served all across the market.
We saw that there are studies that say that in the 70s, we saw more or less 700 ads every day. But nowadays, there is an article on Forbes that say that we see between 6,000 and 10,000 ads every day. Obviously, a lot of them, we just skip them, we don't remember, but they are there.
Yeah.
And all of them try to take your attention, try to, let's say, sell their product or whatever. So at the end, it's something that is more and more difficult every day to keep the pace of the ads. So that's why I think that we came with this idea, with this project, where the idea is that the SROs can apply their expertise to a tool that can help them answer specific questions over a large amount of ads. Like, I don't know, for example, if they want to do a campaign related to Botox, let's see if they are talking about specific Botox on it, but maybe it's a cream, that maybe the cream is it's okay, but they can ask, there is a syringe appearing on this ad or things like that. Or maybe something like tobacco, there is someone smoking on the ad. And we do this over text, images, and videos also. We do it for all of them.
Yeah, it's a revolutionary tool, I would say, as an SRO. Also because ads are necessary in the sense that it's a way of companies to communicate to their consumers. If you don't know that the product is there, you don't know that it exists,
You're not going to
right?
buy Nutella, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not about that. It's also about anything. I mean, if you open a bar, you need people to know that you have a restaurant. Like that's an advertisement. It goes beyond big corporate companies. So advertising is necessary for business to exist.
Yeah.
But then how to do it responsible? Some people don't do it responsible. Some people do not know how to do it responsible. And here is also where the SROs come in. And this tool is really, really helpful, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I like the statistic that we see, or at least encounter in some way, more and more ads, but we filter out also more and more ads. So maybe the amount you can absorb in a day is limited, but the amount that is out there and potentially someone sees is growing and growing and growing. And those all need to be responsible ads, even though many of them won't be even seen. And that's I think the main challenge. How do you go from, well, this volume of ads in the 70s to this amount of ads daily right now? How do we keep that responsible?
Yeah, I think AdLibra, it's a big change in this space because it allows legal experts, maybe not very technical teams, to actually go through a big bunch of ads and identify things that do not work or that shouldn't be there, and be able to communicate later with the advertiser or with consumers to help them navigate them. I would like to ask you about the hurdles that you, well, and me, because we were together in this, face when actually coming up with this tool, because it's not an easy one, and I don't think it exists anywhere else in the world. I think we have a pioneering tool here. So I would like to ask you, what are the main challenges that you faced?
Well, for me, I think that I will take it maybe for more on a technical side, obviously, that it was the way that we try to merge the data that comes from Google and from Meta. They have both different ways of to serve that data to us. So it was a big challenge to address everything, everything together, put it together to the SROs. But I'm quite happy that we offer also like an extra feature, let's say, on how to search stuff. So I think that half of the white hair that I have on my head probably come from that, but but it was nice. It was nice.
Yeah, I mean, you see a huge achievement, right? Because that's the main thing we started with was the search, of course, because that's the first thing you do. And initially, I remember being skeptical, thinking, well, maybe we need two search bars after all, but we did it, right? There's one search bar. What I also found a challenge, especially at the beginning, is that as a product owner, but especially as a tech team, you want to have some use cases, right? To understand what will people be doing with this tool. But one of the requirements was it needs to be for experimentation. So every time I was in the middle saying like, yeah, what will SROs be doing with this tool? And Inés, we have some idea, but the idea is they find out themselves. So I went back to you guys, said, well, it's for experimentation. I can't really tell you what exactly they will be doing. But yeah, in the end, I think we came up with something that it's suited to a pretty broad purpose, but it still allows you to experiment quite a bit, right? Because the goal from the beginning was come up with some way for SROs to interface with a foundational model in an easy way, so they don't have to go and write prompts themselves that are pages long and all that stuff, but still do something at scale. And that was a challenge. I think we balanced that line pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, there are several use cases that I can think now that it exists from
exactly. Yeah, now the use cases are coming. Yeah. But at the beginning it was like, what if SROs can just throw a bunch of ads into ChatGPT or any other model and analyze ads in that way? And we're like, yeah, what if they could do that? I don't know.
Yeah, cool.
We'll find out. Yeah.
It's true. We had an idea of what we wanted to get, but we didn't know how or what would be actually the success rate, I would say, of the. So talking about this success, when did you realize, okay, this is cool, this is gonna work, like this eureka moment, and you thought, okay, it's done, we're gonna use it, it's gonna work, SROs are gonna be vibing with it?
Well, mine, it's quite of related with this because it was in one of the demos that we showed with the SROs, because we wanted to keep all of them informed on how the things are going, to get feedback and understand what the problem they may face and whatever. We went with the search functionality, and they were like, wait, we can search in Meta and in Google at the same time? And I was like, oh, that is already a big point. So for me, it was like, oof, okay, they already have something. It's so it was a big relief at the moment. So that for me was a big changing point for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's game changer, eh?
Yeah.
Because right now it's possible to search on the ad libraries, but it's not one ad per one ad, but the way of filtering is quite tight. And also you have to go to one or the other, and the way we managed to merge the data.
And they are completely different, the way you search on them.
Yeah. So
I remember at that stage thinking, okay, even if this is the only thing we achieve, it's already a success. Because even if the whole AI part doesn't work out, we have this single search solution for both databases, which is super useful. But yeah, when I had that eureka moment, I remember at some point I was constantly pushing for let's just connect the parts and get something out there on staging to just test with users. And it was very rudimentary. We had the first version of the AI system connected to the search, and you could only do 3 ads or 5 ads or something. And I'm never nice to these systems as they are built. I just try all of the wrong things and see what happens. And I remember putting in some dumb uninformed prompts, and still the results being quite sensible. And that was the moment I thought, wait, this actually makes sense. I was expecting like nonsense output, etc. You've all had these hallucinations where you're like, no, this is totally not what I meant. But I just input some dumb stuff, and the output was sensible. I was like, oh wait, this works. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, I think we all inputted some dumb stuff. I remember doing a report just to find out if there were turtles in the ads, just to see if it was detecting properly the image. And it worked, although no turtles were in the ad. So I don't know really. Well,
did you verify?
I checked, I double checked. Because also the tool, just for our audience to know, it not only allows you to do this type of at scale reports, it also allows you to test. So you don't spend all the tokens. So I was testing with little batches just to check. And I tested a dumb thing like turtles in the ad.
No turtles so far.
Yeah, no turtles
all
so
turtles
far.
are safe.
All turtles are safe. No, but sometimes the models, it's not that they hallucinate, it's just it's programmatic. So to some extent, they may answer A or B or C, and it's just a matter of probability. So I was wondering if it will just go crazy and identify a turtle, but no. So I guess the agents behind it work pretty well.
I mean, we have a really good development team. So.
Yeah, praising yourself and your team, Adri. But yeah, no, it's true. It works. For me, there's another challenge here, and also another interesting point, which is, okay, AI, as we say, it may hallucinate, it may give answers that it's not accurate. What's the relationship between the human and the AI, how this can serve people and experts, and how can we trust the machine, or if we should trust it actually, because it's also a question.
I mean, at the end, you get used to it. It's another tool that you have on your belt. If you don't think that this could be useful or whatever, I will like to have an SRO that analyze one specific ad, that have to search it, find the things that they want to do, and validate if it's okay or not, and then compare it with the same SRO using our tool. And maybe they will see that instead of in the time that they search for one, we can all analyze on over 1,000 of them. And I really think that that's something that will be really beneficial at the end, that you give more time to the people. And I always think that the AI is something that is there to help you. So at the end, there is always a human that's going to validate if it's a violation or not. We just think about it as instead of looking to thousands and thousands of ads, we say, okay, maybe you should check this first because look a bit shady. So take a look to this before and that use your time wisely.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a decision-making machine. It's picking up signals and helping you prioritize your work. Maybe even spotting a couple things you didn't see before, right? Maybe there was a turtle somewhere, but you didn't notice.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, it's really useful. But in the end, if there's any consequences, like you might write to an advertiser or whatever, that's not up to AI. That's up to human experts. Otherwise, the whole system wouldn't be fair in any way. But it scales up how much ads you can go through. And if say you have like 15 minutes to do something, it really helps to have the system go through 1,000 of ads and say, well, these are probably the risky ones. Look into these first. If you have another 45 minutes, you can look into the rest as well, but it helps prioritize.
Yeah, I think that's the key word, prioritization, because my perception is working with the SROs and with people also that are a bit more away from the technical world is that sometimes we believe that AI, it's first scary because we don't understand it. Second, we think that it's a threat to substituting the human, but also not in an accurate way. But also, what do we do with the results? It's not a matter of having a final solution just that gives you, okay, this is the compliance of the ad, yes or no, and that's it. It's a matter of flagging what can be problematic, identifying it, and leaving the space for the human to actually review what's relevant and not everything.
Exactly. There is always a human there to
always
do the verification.
Yeah.
And at the end, I think that the appearance of the AI, it's really close to when the computers appear, because it changed a lot the way we work and the way we interact with problems and whatever. So I think that they are on the same scale right now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think say that before an AI system, you had 1 hour in a day to check ads. You're still checking ads for 1 hour in a day, but what you will be doing in that 1 hour will be much more relevant than just skimming through lots of irrelevant ads or things that are not likely to be a problem. I liked your comparison with, let's say you have an intern. Like, it's not going to do a perfect job, but it can do a lot of work for you, so you can prioritize and focus on the important bits.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. Also, it comes with a challenge, because what Adri was saying, like, it changed the way we work. We will eventually lose certain capacity to do things, but we need to learn others. Exactly. I'm thinking about the prompts, for example. AdLibra has a very guided prompt structure, but now the legal expert also needs to know how to feed into this prompt structure.
Yeah, but one of our main focus was to keep a really, let's say, high technical tool, but really simple, to keep the people that are not related with this kind of stuff can interact with it. For example, I don't like to use the word prompt in this case, because I really like that if you don't, I mean, if we don't say that it's AI, you will not know it is, because you have to set the set of questions that you want to be answered on one specific ad or a set of ads. And you can give context. You can say, okay, for example, the case of the Botox, if it's a cream, it's valid. Or you can give examples on compliance ads that we have in the past, or exactly the opposite. So let's say that it's quite guided, and you can ask the real questions that you will make as an SRO in the real life. So.
Can you give an example of how, because just so the audience can picture how it looks, right? How as a legal expert, I go into the tool. Okay, I do the search. I have my list of ads. I'm like, okay, now I want to know this about the ads. I want to know if they're promoting tobacco. That it's really a no-go, no? And nowadays, 2026, it's unimaginable to see a tobacco, like a cigarette in an ad or a tobacco ad. Vapes, it's a different conversation, right? But how do? I go to the AI analysis dashboard with my list of results. How do I proceed?
Shall I take it?
Yeah.
You want to take it? So you have your list of ads based on clever filtering, etc. And then it's almost like a short questionnaire. It starts with a simple question. What do you want to know about these ads? So in these examples, you can just type in, is there a vape or is there a cigarette? And then you could be already finished. If you have a more complex question, for example, is there an unsubstantiated green claim? Then you might need to explain a little bit what is a green claim and when is it unsubstantiated. And to do that, you're asked questions about examples. Like give an example of what is correct, what is incorrect. But also rules and cues that AdLibra can check for you. For example, well, if we're on the topic of green claims, is there any natural scenery that isn't really relevant for the ad, or is there a claim about CO2 emissions, etc.? Because those are relevant signals that you look for as an expert. That you have to explain to AdLibra that this is actually relevant. If you come across this, pay attention, and I want to know, is this here, yes or no, for example. Then you have the ads, so the examples. This is good, this is bad. And then finally, you can also input any other context. So basically anything you would explain to an intern, say, that is going to do this for you. Like, oh, by the way, it's relevant if you know this rule or this piece of advertising code or etc. Then you just hit, well, you set a couple of things first, but then you hit search and then analyze, and then it analyzes all of the ads for you. And you get your reports basically per ad on, well, we think this one doesn't have a cigarette. Or in the green claims case, yeah, this one does have an unsubstantiated green claim because there's natural scenery, there's something about CO2 emissions, there's nothing about specifics, or just an example. And you can verify that because the ad is right there, you can check. And input your own expert review as well, right? Because in the end, you need to check still, but you're checking something that is probably relevant to check rather than checking all of the thousands of ads that you had previously.
It seems easy to some extent, as long as the tool is user-friendly, which I think we made sure it is. We had 10 SROs participating in the testing phase. So I guess if they understood and they gave their feedback,
yeah,
we
it was
worked into
really
something
helpful.
Yeah. So this is super interesting. I would like to know also, as an expert, what information do I get? I only get information from the AI analysis? Do I get the photo of the ad, the image? Do I get the
You can see
text?
everything inside the application, but you can also export the whole whole data set basically, in which you have all of the media, some additional details that are not in the application itself, like the reach of the ad, all of the AI output, also some of the stuff we don't show there, because you might not everybody has programming knowledge or extensive Excel skills, but if you do, you can export the whole thing and go to town in your own way.
Yeah, and I think that we also show what the AI sees on the images and videos. Because at the end, one of the main things that we did a couple of interviews with different SROs to understand what they look into on us. Because we also have to train the AI to know how to do that. And we generate like a large description of the images with the small details that the SROs told us that they look for. So, for example, if it appears the small text claim of alcohol for things like
they
that.
do not forward to under 18.
But also describe the things like, for example, if it appears on the background a forest or things like that. That kind of things that can help make decisions at the end.
So it goes way beyond. And I guess since it's plugged into Meta and Google ad libraries, you can also get information on the ad itself, on the targeting, on the reach.
Yeah. There's also a way to go directly to that library from AdLibra, but they provide much richer information about the ad itself, not everything is directly relevant, but if you do the export, you get all of that. So,
So it goes beyond the tool itself.
Yeah,
Once
exactly.
you export
You
those
you always have the link to the exactly to the Meta or Google library web page. So
and
you
this
still
reminds
have the
me
same control.
of the sessions we had to basically develop how the AI system sees ads and thinks about ads, and how that how to make that in a way like experts look at an ad. And there's a lot of intermediate steps between that question, like what do you want to know about these ads and the result. And if you do the export, you get some of these intermediate steps as well. So you can dive even deeper into, well, AdLibra thought it was a violation, but why exactly? And you can really figure out all the details there.
And you can store them even in the report, side by side with what the AI think. The SROs can put their own experience there and say, okay, AI say it's a violation, but in this case, I think that is because of please, and say that it's okay.
And that's useful because I guess it's an environment or per SRO. So if I'm an SRO and I want to analyze and review a report on compliance and whatever with the turtles or the chocolate, I can actually share that report with my colleagues, so we can both be working on the same report and we can leave comments to each other, so we both know where we are.
Yeah, and also for us as the development team, it would be interesting to know situations in which people don't agree with the output of AdLibra, which should be there. If that's happening often, then it might be possible improvement, right?
Exactly. Learn from the mistakes or where there are some deviations and improve for the second version.
For the second version that may come, or we'll see. We first need people to use it and experiment. It's a minimum viable product. Let's not forget about that. I think we do big work
I mean,
here for an MVP.
Yeah.
I think it's over the top, I'd say.
yeah, I wouldn't call it minimum.
Yeah, it's not minimum, right? It's a maximum viable product. But it's true that there are still many features and things to improve, and probably there are bugs that come across the way once users start.
Always.
Yeah. How do you see this evolving in the future? Like, how do you see AdLibra improving, developing new features?
Well, I mean, an obvious one is adding more ad libraries, right? Which will be for every single ad library an interesting challenge because they all work differently.
I can put more white hair on my head.
Yeah, I mean, by the time we have all of them, I don't know, full Santa Claus. I think that's the most relevant one. But also, I think in terms of use, now we are going to find out, like, how will it be applied? What will it help SROs to do? And from there, we get more ideas, right, to maybe for more specific features. Like the research goal, like investigating a certain industry sector or certain types of advertisers or maybe societal trends, that's pure research. It's kind of a different application from actual monitoring and flagging violations and going to the advertisers, which is more of an enforcement type of use case. Might lead into 2 additional features or just brainstorming, but I'm up for it if that might happen.
For the analysis, maybe this question a bit for Adri from a technical side. For the analysis, do you think eventually it will be possible to have a code, one of the rules, or a law, or I'm thinking of codes because we're talking self-regulation here, right? Would it be possible for SROs to have their code embedded into the tool, so they just check if the ad is directly compliant with the code?
I would love that, to instead of having the SROs to proactively search the ads, let the SRO just join the page and we say, okay, with your codes from your specific country, this could be a validation, take a look, and we even prioritize even more of the work of them. I would love to do that, and I hope that we give some work on that. Yeah.
You think it's possible?
Yeah, I mean, at the end, probably it's not going to be easy because at the end, these codes have a lot of interpretation and the wording is super important and everything. But it's something that we already did some small tests nothing super important, but we did some small test, and we already saw some results. So it would be super awesome to invest more time on that.
Yeah, especially for the side of compliance. I mean, of course, if you're doing research or seeing market trends, the prompt is useful because it allows them to actually target exactly what they're looking for. But if they're looking into compliance, I mean,
Exactly.
this could
Yeah,
be game changer.
and going one step further, not just adding the code, but adding all of the cases, right? Because that's a super rich data set that many SROs have. I think underutilized at the moment, right? They're just sitting there, and I mean, in our case, lawyers sometimes look at them because those lawyers get dragged into our cases. But other than that, we use it ourselves. But it's a super rich library, super rich data set with lots of information, insights. That's just sitting there, doing nothing.
It poses the question, the matter of data protection and so on, because this is their know-how. Really, this is know-how accumulated throughout the years. So I guess this is a bit tackled with AdLibra, right? The way it's done in the backend, it protects a bit each user specific input and everything.
Yeah, I mean, all the data that you input on the application is stored only for you and for your organization. So yeah, there is no possibility to see other organization reports or whatever. Yeah.
Or contaminate each other.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, it should really be, in that case, if we were to develop that, a platform to exploit the knowledge you have and not exploit others' knowledge or give away your knowledge to whomever, right? It's really your personal environment or organizational environment.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like I find it fascinating, and I will certainly use it. As you know, EASA also does monitoring projects, more to support the industry to understand what they do right and wrong and help them get better, but also to identify market trends and what's going on. So for me, on a research side, I will definitely use it. I hope that SROs use it for proactively switching from a reactive self-regulation perspective to a proactive one where they actually...
Exactly, yeah. You can't just sit around waiting for complaints anymore.
Yeah, which is also part of their job and is very important. Receiving complaints from consumers, but well, they can also run these complaints through AdLibra because we have a manual section.
Even just finding the ad that someone is complaining about is already a huge win, because we get thousands of complaints per year, and many of them mention an ad and don't send the actual ad, and then we have no idea. Or they say, I saw something on YouTube pre-roll, and they don't send the video or something. So it's like, well, we can't help you. But now you can actually find that ad in the database in a very easy interface. So that's already also a huge win that we weren't even designing for. It's pretty useful.
Can you find an ad directly in the database?
Yeah, you can. I mean, in the search bar, you just look for a specific ad if you have the time frame and the advertiser.
I didn't think about it. It's true.
Yeah.
Another use
feature.
case.
There we go.
Yeah, another use case.
Use cases.
If you know enough information, you can actually find it.
Because usually they have some idea of when they saw it and who the advertiser was. Yeah. So then you can, take some digging, but should be able to find it.
Okay, so if we do a recap of all the cool things that AdLibra can do, which is many, we could say that you can use it for research to identify what the trends are, if certain industries behaving better or worse than others, and how to help them to improve. We can use it for compliance, to check compliance against the codes or different rules. We can use it to identify and find ads out there. For the moment, Google and Meta, but maybe in the future we're adding other platforms to the tool. So it's a lot of use cases.
You forgot one. The file upload.
Yeah.
You can upload any ad you see anywhere, upload it and analyze it in the same way. So with the same AI system, just ask the same questions. Which I'm also really curious what people will even input there. Like, will they walk on the street, take a picture on their phone and say, hey, I saw this ad outside. What do you think, AdLibra? That would be super interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, if I'm an SRO and I develop a very cool prompt that works and I refine it because I work on it and I do my reports and imagine green claims terms, which is a very complex topic to analyze. Eventually, if I have a complaint, I could analyze it with the same prompt. So it won't mean that I don't have to file my report and everything, but at least I have a first screening of it, right?
Yeah.
In a quick way. So it can save some time.
Exactly.
To legal experts. Okay, so then I guess the key takeout is that it saves time.
Help you prioritize.
It
your
helps you
work.
prioritize, yeah.
And scale, really, right? It's the
Scale.
keyword.
The scale is
Exactly.
the keyword. Yeah.
Totally.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a closing question because I think we're really close to time. I can see production team here looking at me with a weird face. I'm gonna ask you a closing question, unrelated to AdLibra. AdLibra, we've decided is really cool, and I hope everyone use it. I'm gonna ask you, who would you invite to this podcast next?
Good question.
Like anyone?
Can be anyone. I mean, if it's someone that is feasible to get, it'd be better. But it can be anyone. You can.
I don't know if you have an episode planned about influencers, but definitely someone from the Human Ads Research Project.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Catalina herself or one of her colleagues would be super interesting, super knowledgeable. And if you want to spice things up, invite Eric Andre. I mean, I don't know if you know him.
No.
You will need to buy a new studio afterwards, but
Probably, yes. He will like to jump over everything. So
Okay. And you, Adri, you have someone in mind?
I think more on, let's say, we have our point of view. I would love to know the point of view from Meta and Google on how this project was or what they think about this kind of tooling. So having someone from them, it would be super awesome.
Yeah, and on that point, I really need to thank them because both Google and Meta did a tremendous amount of effort to help us make this possible. Because I don't think anyone else in the world is doing this right now, and they're very vast ad libraries. What they have billions of ads, and they've been really, really helpful to help us retrieve the data and get to it, and helping us from a very technical standpoint too. So
we have a really big email chain and talks to have everything in place and everything. Yeah,
they've been very, very supportive, both of them.
Yeah.
Also, big thanks to all the self-regulatory organizations. I mean, I was not expecting to have 10 of them joining to participate during the testing phase, and they were proactive.
Yeah. And it wasn't like I joined the first day, then I forget. No, it was during the whole process. They were there once a week or.
We got detailed reports on what they did, what they found. It was super useful.
Yeah.
I think that's a good sign that they see the potential on this. So.
I agree. And also because it's designed according to their feedback. So it's not done by us not knowing how the user would experiment with it. So before I close, I would also really want to thank you guys for all your work.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was intense, so it was a lot of fun. And of course, the DEUS team. I mean, you're here representing the DEUS team, but it's not only you. There are many people behind.
Yeah.
I don't know how many.
I think that we were 6 or 7 DEUS people in the project.
Yeah.
Working all together, helping each other, and to build this amazing tool. So really, really proud of the team.
Yeah, I'm really, really proud of the team. They did an amazing job. It was my first developing experience, let's say.
Now we know how it goes.
Everything was too easy, let's say. I mean, many executive decisions, but everything was too easy because the team was just amazing. Yeah. With that in mind, we close this episode of the podcast. Thanks to everyone for listening, and I hope you enjoy it.